right, so this is a wrap up for the course. I want to thank you for getting through all the modules. In this course, I'm just going to wrap up all the content, make sure you remember all the things that we covered over all the videos. And so the overall learning objectives for the entire course are shown here: understanding the components of decision making, recognizing the value of risk-based decision making, and really understanding how risk information can be used to make decisions. So I hope after watching these videos, you are able to agree that you have this new knowledge. And then I just wanted to go through the different modules for each of the short courses, since you might have taken these over each of these modules, you might have taken them over a series of days. So just to recall everything we covered. So first we talked about recognizing decision analysis as a field of research is something that we study and get better at. And then understanding what decision outcomes are and how they're used in decision making. So what's an important part of risk-based decision making is that we're going to have outcomes that we care about related to risk, the likelihood and severity of harm. Module 3, we talked about being aware of the best practice for generating options. So this is the idea of not just having an option and saying yes or no, but really understanding what all the different alternatives are before you make your decision. And then understanding how the consequences of a decision are generated to do that analysis. Module 4, we talked about understanding when decision analysis is needed, including why it's useful for risk-based decision making. And one warning here is just to not use decision analysis as something that slows down decision making. You should only really use it when it's useful and when it's going to provide value, because it does take some time and energy to do an analysis. And then to understand what's meant by risk-based decision, which is really using risk information in a decision. Module 5, we talked about common metrics in risk-based decision making. This will be an important course. We'll hark back to when we talk about risk ranking methods, because the metrics are an important component of risk ranking. And then understanding the different types of uncertainty and how they may impact decisions. And then finally, we talked through all the different examples of how different parts of the sector make decisions that impact food safety, and reminded us of these different roles that decision makers have, and really tried to apply some of the principles we learned in the earlier modules to those decisions about food safety. So again, for those of you that are interested in doing some more advanced reading on decision analysis or risk-based decision making, there's some links provided in on the website that would allow you to read some more materials and learn more about that. And if you're interested, please go ahead and look through those materials. So thank you again for joining the course. I hope that you found it helpful and that it can help to improve the use of risk-based decision-making systems in food safety around the world.